and welcome to the Friday, February 2nd episode of Morning Coffee and Chat. Happy Groundhog's Day to everybody. I was just over on Sean Cody's live stream. He is in Illinois at the Groundhog's Day celebration already. They are waiting for the sun to rise, waiting to hear word if that little groundhog is going to see his shadow or not. I really, honestly hope winter's over. I'm a little tired of walking back and forth to work in the snow and the wind. Summertime, I don't get sick as often, so yeah, I'm really hoping it's over with. Let me fix this here real quick. Get me more centered. There we go. Is his groundhog named Gertie? I don't know. I don't know. There's a lot of people out there at the park where they're located at. It's very cool to see the whole town come out. This early in the morning to celebrate something like Groundhog's Day. I mean, they've got German singers up there and drinking beer, and it's kind of like early morning Oktoberfest. Good morning, Nightmare. Good morning, Tony. Good morning, Sarah. I wasn't on there long enough, Tony, to be able to tell where they're at. I know they've got this cute little pavilion set up there, and the singers are all up on the pavilion, and there's people standing up in the trees filming, and I mean hundreds of people out there already. Good morning, Terry. Good to see you, love. Hope you're doing well this morning. That oversized rat. Well, maybe so, but that oversized rat, he, I don't know, he's right 75% of the time, I guess. Super hungover. Super hungover and maybe still a little tipsy. Yeah. My life is going to shambles, y'all. Why is your life going to shambles, Sarah? I mean, you're pushing through your schooling, you're bettering your life, you're bettering your kids' lives. Why is your life shambles, dear? I can understand that. 'Tis why I ain't drank since summer. Whew. Man, I just finished my bottle of chocolate liqueur um, Tuesday, and I've not had a single drink since then. So yeah, I kind of, sort of, I guess, I'm behind in the game too. Overdue my bank account. I have no money until Friday. I'm disappointed in myself and distraught. Well, I mean, I know it don't help, but that happens to the best of us. Sometimes it's not even us that overdraw our bank account. Um, I work and do the channel, which we still haven't got monetized. I spend more time on the channel than I do at work, and I'm Now that they've cut back the hours on everybody, I might be pulling 15 hours a week, but I only probably work 12 of those because we're so slow because of all the changes they're making and things that nobody wants to come in there. You know, I've got these aspirations for Papaw's Pizzeria, but, you know, I don't even make enough money to be able to get that thing going to give myself a little bit of security. So, Max told me he loves his ex and cares about her, told me my daughter is creepy. I've seen pictures of your daughter. Your daughter's pretty. She's sweet. What the hell? So I mean, you know, at least, yeah, exactly, Tony. That's how I feel about it. You know, I work at the one of the what 3 places in this town that I could possibly work at. My wife works 40 hours a week, and we still don't have a pot to piss in our window to throw it out of. You know, I noticed the other day that the microphone that I use to do my green screen work and everything is starting to act up. I need to go out and get a new microphone. And you know, I need a new pair of headphones to do the podcasts and stuff. I can't afford to go out and get them. You know, we have a tip jar set up in the window at the bar for the on duty cooks, but nobody ever sticks anything in it. Oh, we tip the waitresses. That's enough. All they do is carry it to you. We make it for you. I'll remember you said that next time that you come in and order food. Ass. My daughter has autism. She's not creepy. Exactly. Exactly. I've dated people with autistic kids before, and they're amazing. Amazingly intelligent. Scarily intelligent. All kids are creepy and so. That parental love. I think the creepy kid thing, due to a lack of filter. You, and I mean, you gotta love the kids for that. That no filter thing. I mean, you know, they're able to say as children what we would like to say as adults a lot of the times, and people just look at it like, they're kids. Oh, I like kids. I like them on rye. I like them on whole wheat. I like them with mustard. I like them with pepper jack bacon cheese, shredded lettuce. You know. I don't know how any adult, any parent, anybody in a parental role could say that a child is creepy. I mean, you know, unless the kid wears black fingernail polish, only wears black clothes, uses, you know, all black makeup, and, you know, like just sits there and you know, uh, cleans out under their fingernails with a kitchen knife and just stares at you while you're sitting there trying to watch the news at night. I mean, that would be a little creepy, but. Or be like my daughter and have absolutely zero emotions whatsoever. Um, yeah, that's kind of scary at times. It's like you are well on your way to becoming a serial killer, young lady, and you better stop right now. If she didn't love animals so much, um, then yeah, I would probably think that there's things squirreling around up there. But yeah, she just don't like people. Animals do taste good. You are correct about that. Puxatawny Phil says we're going to have another 6 weeks of winter. Um, by this time next year, he may find himself on a quarter pounder with cheese or something like that. I was single 6 years after my divorce. Met him and it was a mistake. Sadly enough, we've all made those mistakes. I've I've dated a few awesome people in my life. Some of them were just nuttier than squirrel poop, and some of them I just couldn't read. Down today's society, stay single. Is that what Phil said? No, Phil. No, I haven't heard yet. The sun. I don't know if the sun's come up yet over there. Like I said, when I was watching Sean Cody's stream from Illinois right before I started this one, they were still waiting on the sunrise um, to find out what old Phil is going to say about wintertime. I'm really hoping the rat um, decides winter is over with. Um, I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it. I mean, if it would decide what it wanted to do, it'd be okay. It's either going to snow or it's going to be green and warm. Either way, Phil. Either way. Either we're going to get a buttload of snow or we're going to have comfortable warm weather. So, I don't know. I got no clue. I would offer myself, Sarah, but the wife don't do polygamy. I would offer myself, but yeah, my wife's the same way. The whole two-family thing. However, knowing my wife and her personality, if I told her I was going to Virginia to, you know, take over the man role with Sarah and her kids and stuff like that, my wife would probably help me pack. That's just how she is. Oh, that don't seem that don't seem to be a strong selling point. Well, I mean, think about the don't let the door hit you or the good Lord split you. Yeah, exactly. That's one of my favorite sayings. But yeah, you got to look at the life I've given her. We get married on the 25th of June. we leave on the 27th of June for our honeymoon, and in a matter of a week, I have no energy to really do anything. I don't want to go out and walk and, you know, see the city and stuff like that, and then on the 5th of July, I'm laying in a hospital in a coma after dying twice that morning. So, spent 7 years taking care of her grandmother because the doctors didn't want me to work because of my unstable blood sugar and the lightheadedness and the neuropathy and the muscle spasms and stuff like that. So, and now I'm back to work, and one of the very few places, one of the only 2 or 3 places in town where I can work, isn't giving me any hours. So I'm really honestly not helping out. So I leave her alone. I sit in the studio. She sits in the bedroom and watches the Crazy Housewives of whatever the hell city she's watching. The only thing we have in common is Survivor, which, by the way, brings up an entirely different subject. Mine gave me 2 kids. He never sees them. Yeah, well, you know something, that's a waste of a waste of seed right there, and he should have crawled into a hole and buried himself. Good morning, Skipper. Good to see you, bud. Hope you're doing well this morning. Happy Valentine's Day. Yeah, that's 12 more days away. Happy Groundhog's Day. But getting on the Survivor thing, I have 2 months ago, I actually got the wife watching Survivor, and she's like a diehard fan now. We have wiped out 43, well, we're almost done with the 43rd season in 2 months, and they are between May and July this year. They're going to start filming season 47, and I told the wife that I have been able to maintain my body so well, not being on any of that medication, just doing things naturally, that I was thinking about applying again. I applied for the 3rd season and didn't make it. Of course, I also submitted my application, and I was at work doing it, and I had no way to submit a video. So yesterday I started working on scripting and stuff for the application video, and tomorrow I will be filming the application video for Survivor season 47. I'm far from the oldest guy that's been on there, and they've actually had a paraplegic on there before. So I'm one step ahead of her. I got all my bits and pieces. So if I do this, it's going to mean 26 days, sometime early summer, that I will not be filming or anything. But It could also mean all those changes and stuff because, in case you guys don't know, the winner of that thing is not the only person that receives money. The last 7 or 8 people in it get a larger sum of money, but everybody gets money. And if you do make it to the last like 12, um, then you go, as you're voted out, you go on their jury, and then everybody appears on the finale show. Well, just appearing on the finale show, you get $10,000. So, points gone towards screen. Something you want to tell us? Ain't never been into those survival shows aside from the men versus women's show. I never really was either, but there was something about Survivor and the way that they did it that really kind of drove my interest up. And I don't know. I don't know. Like I said, I submitted an application on the last day they were accepting applications for season 3, and I've been what they refer to as a super fan ever since. So I figure, to hell with it. It's going to mean a month in Fiji. Ooh, no, not Fiji. How dare I go to a tropical island for a month? Ooh, Doomsday Prepper shows seek out the craziest folks out there. There have been some nutty ones on there. I will give you that. In all of the seasons that I've seen, they have had some crazy, crazy people on there. They've had some conspiracy nuts. They have had, oh God. They've had people go on there that can't swim. Why the hell are you going to submit an application for a show or for a competition, period, not even a television show? Why are you going to submit an application for a competition where a lot of the competitions take part in the water if you can't swim? If you're afraid of bugs, why are you going to submit an application to live for a month in the forest? Luckily, I can swim, and bugs don't bother me. So, I went through survival training. I ate bugs. All right, well, that's not going to work. Turn the fan on to get it cool in here, and it just makes my coffee cold faster. Damned if you do, damned if you don't. People are morons. You're right. You're right. I mean, okay. All right. So that's why we that's why we got to have soft bumpers on cars. Uh, The thing that always tickles me, and the wife and I were talking about it last night, or night before last, when we were watching the middle of season 43, and you know, they were Oh yeah, yeah. We just finished Gabler. He was season 42. We just finished him, and yeah, he donated he won. He donated his $1 million to the Veterans Administration where he worked at with veterans. So yeah, he was excellent, excellent. But we were talking, and um, for those of you that don't, watch the series, they start off with like 20 people. They divide you up into these different tribes, and you have your little meetings. You build your little groups of reliable people, and you confide in them. Who do I want to vote off? Join with me. Let's vote this person off. Yada 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 yada. And then they fabricate these lies about these. Well, this person was throwing your name out, and this person, so you should vote with me to get them out. Da 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 da. Knowing that those people are going to communicate at one time or another. Well, why were you throwing my name out? I never mentioned your name. I talked about how strong our bond was and our friendship, and you know, why would I do that? That would be stupid on my part. So, I mean, the whole show is based on, you know, your competitive nature, but then the other side of it, it's based on, your scheming and um, the strongest people in your group, in your alliance, in your tribe, and you're going to sit here and you're going to lie to this person, knowing this person is going to go and confront this person, or they're going to talk to other friends of this person, and the truth is going to come out, and it's nine out of 10 times it's going to bite you in the butt. So old does not mean stupid. Young, well, soft bumpers. Yeah, exactly, Terry. Exactly. They thought he was old. They didn't really think he was a threat, and he made it all the way through. 51 years old. 51 years old, out of shape, still a good competitor, but not in the best shape. He's 20, 25 years older than everybody else on there. So, but, don't forget way back in season one when old Richard Hatch was running around the island buck naked and everything the entire month, except for the competitions, of course. You had old Rudy, the old retired Navy guy that, was 60, 70 something years old. And he was right out there with them kids competing against everybody. So, yeah, yeah. Now, 51's not old. But, we have a little bit longer lifespan now than we did, back in the day. So, and frankly, to be honest with you guys, now that I'm recovered and I'm back to my full self again, I feel 10 years younger. Not taking those pills every day, not having to rely on medication that's either going to, congest you, or it's um, going to give you a flaming diarrhea, or it's going to constipate you, or it's going to, make you hungry, or it's going to kill your appetite and you just don't want to eat anything. There for a while, some of the medicines that I was on, I could sit down and eat about half a sleeve of crackers a day. And that's all I wanted to eat. I was full. I had no interest in eating anything. So, and it's really sad because, it killed my appetite for things that could actually help me get healthier. I lost interest in red meat. I lost interest in chicken. I would eat pork on occasion if it was cooked right. But hey, Justin, good to see you, bud. Remember, Boston Rob built small cities on their campground. Yep, I like Boston Rob. Rob was one of my favorites. His wife, I loved her too. Um, very, very cool. Very cool. Yeah, that reminds me, I cooked turkey Wednesday. You lucky devil, you. Turkey is one thing I never lost taste for. Probably because I only get turkey once a year, but oh my God. Something about a big, juicy piece of turkey breast with mashed potatoes and everything. Just, I never lost a taste for turkey. Chicken, chicken's just bland to me. And the more spices you add to it, the less interesting it is because then you don't taste any chicken anymore. I've been wanting a turkey for 6 months. Me too. Well, I just had one in November. See, chicken depends on the batter. And see, that's the thing. My wife makes the best. She invented her own dry batter. Of course, you dip it in the egg whites and the egg whites and the milk, and then you dip it in the dry batter. Then take it back to the egg whites and the milk, and take it back to the dry batter. She invented the best batter for fried chicken, chicken strips, chicken nuggets, but it's such a long and tedious mess to make and very messy to make. She don't like to do it. She don't like to do it. So, I've been asking her for 3 weeks to make chicken strips. And it's just such a long and tedious and messy process to make them, you know. So I'm still begging for chicken strips. Best batter I have has one made with instant potatoes instead of flour or cornmeal. Hmm, interesting. But yeah, she does a cornmeal flour mix and then throws in all the different spices and stuff. Um, I'll have to suggest the instant potato thing 'cause I think we got 6 bags of instant potatoes in the pantry. Um, and she won't make them just for mashed potatoes. She has to make like real mashed potatoes, not dehydrated potato flakes. Even though it's still a frickin' potato, and if you put enough salt, pepper, milk, and butter in it, they taste just fine. Crazy damn woman. So far as I know, it takes ordinary chicken pieces. What else are there? What What else is there besides ordinary chicken pieces? Why does he look so... Get up there. Sit straight. You look terrible. So like I said, guys, happy Groundhog's Day. Like I said, hopefully Puxatawny Phil, um, decides that winter's over with. He's tired of snow on the East Coast, and yeah, spring is going to start springing sometime here real soon. I don't cook chicken. I don't like chicken. One of my favorite things to eat out is chicken nuggets. I love chicken nuggets, especially with their barbecue sauce and their ranch mixed together. Um, but even chicken nuggets don't taste good anymore, and I'm slowly starting to develop that taste back for chicken now that I'm off all that medication. And you know, um, you guys remember here about 4 months ago, our washer went out. And I remember struggling to get the old washer out and move the new washer in once we got it. Yesterday, the wife went to do laundry, and the coupler that that sits on the drive shaft between the motor and the transmission went out. And of course, we have a teeny tiny, it's a modular home. We have a teeny tiny utility room. There's no room to do anything in there besides a laundry basket, washer, dryer, hot water heater. And so I disconnected the washer, and I took the door off the utility room, and I brought the washer out into the middle of the kitchen. And we disassembled the washer. We took the whole casing off of it, tipped the washer back, had the motor off in no time, changed the coupler, put the motor back on, put the casing back on, got the washer all situated again, and I realized how easy it was. Not feeling so weak, having all that pharmaceutical BS coursing through my system. McDonald's nuggets strike me as having a bit of a popcorn taste, which is really weird because they're not even deep fried. They come in frozen, and they stick them in like a little teeny tiny pizza oven to warm them up. It's really funny that they would have that popcorn taste to you. Did I change the oil? Hey, Squatch. Good to see you, bud. Hope you're doing well today. Rotate them tires. Yep, yep. Front driver's side to passenger rear. Passenger front to driver's side rear. We got them all. We got them all taken care of. Drove it right back off the lot. Got it back in its parking spot. It's all good. It is that day. Yes, today we get to find out if that fat little rat sees his shadow or not. I swear to God. I swear to God. If he if he calls if he calls for 6 more weeks of winter, come early morning, February 2nd next year, I'm going to be on the grassy knoll. Just waiting for him to pop back out that bloody damn hole. Oh, today's your birthday? I never got a notification for you for your birthday. Hold on. No, 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 no. Hmm. Yeah, you know, Facebook at its best, birthday notifications. Yeah, definitely. Happy birthday, Squatch. Man, must suck to be 27 again. Back in Missouri, farmers used to pay us to kill groundhogs. You know, it's funny you mentioned that. Honestly, Tony, if you guys remember, a few years ago we had a family of bunnies that lived under our shed and here, and the bunnies have long since disappeared. But now we got a groundhog that lives under the shed, and when the when the outside kittens were little, that groundhog would come under our neighbor's privacy fence and take off running across the driveway to get to the shed, um, to get down his hole. And I don't know how many times when those kittens were, just you know, 4 months old, 5 months old, they would take off chasing this groundhog. And he would dive under the shed, and they would all stop there and just keep moving like they were dancing around his hole waiting for him to come back out again. Dumb cats. People don't realize the damage groundhogs do to livestock and holes. First farmer I went to hunt them on told me he had to put down 4 calves and a horse due to groundhogs. Yep, those holes will break a leg real quick. They'll snap an ankle, they'll break a leg. It's it's not good. It's not good. I would and I've thought about it before, and I can never find the right information to where this Groundhog's Day thing actually started and how it got to be as big as it is today. Now, one other thing about, Sean Cody's stream from where he's at. Let me see if it's still up here. Hold on a second. Let me kick over here real quick. Um, Groundhog's Day live from Woodstock, Illinois is where Sean's at. Woodstock, Illinois. Um, the one thing about that location at Woodstock, I guess Bill Murray, who starred in the movie Groundhog's Day, has been a regular visitor to Woodstock, Illinois on Groundhog's Day. And before I left Sean's live stream to come in here, they were saying that they heard that Bill was in the area, but whether or not he was going to make it to to the park or to the center of town there in Woodstock, they didn't know. But who knows? My dad would smoke them out of those holes. and that was their last day on Earth. Makes sense. I invite folks to roast me, but understand if you come up on panel, I will not be gentle. When are you doing your stream, Squatch? We did it with gasoline one time. Seeing a groundhog shot from a... Oh, that damn heart's in the way in the chat. From a hole on fire. Seeing a groundhog shot from a hole on fire is pretty unsettling. Or, when gasoline was cheaper, you just dump 3 gallons of gasoline down a hole, set the hole on fire, and the groundhog comes out screaming, on fire. Then you save a bullet. And dinner's pre-cooked. You don't got to worry about cooking dinner that night. The groundhog problem is solved, because it is flame broiled, all the fat and everything, cooked off of it. So, boom, it's a win-win scenario. No more holes in your yard, and dinner's taken care of. All you got to do is make the side dishes. Hey, Masha. Good to see you, hon. Hope you're doing well. I was merely a 10-year-old observer. I did not see groundhog in the flesh till I was 22. I'm in swamp country, no groundhogs. Ah, gotcha. When are you when are you planning on doing your birthday stream, Squatch? I never got a notification for an impending birthday stream. Hey, Sean. Good to see you, man. I've been talking about your live stream. I just actually jumped back over there because we were talking a little bit ago about where you were at, and I jumped back over to check and see, and told him it was Woodstock. But yeah, I don't get notifications for streams anymore. I don't get notifications for videos anymore. So when I happen to be on going through my suggested videos and I see that someone's live or something like that, I try to jump on there real quick and, give my love and support and stuff like that. It was good to be there, for all the, all the festivities and stuff there in Woodstock. So, just ended and back in the car getting warm. So, watch the word, Sean. Watch the word. Did the little fat bastard see his shadow or not? He did not see his shadow. There it is, guys. I have my antennas here in the garage getting ready to put it up. Damn thing is long. That's what she said. Or that's what she insinuated. She might not have said it, but she insinuated it. Yeah, you may want to wait just a little bit, Tony. No reason to risk your health or your safety to get that antenna up. Did not see his shadow. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Let me see something here real quick. Well, what do you know? They've already updated. CBS News has already updated that Mr. Phil did not see his shadow. He emerged right before 7:30 to show the world what to expect for the rest of winter. He did not see his shadow, so that means an early spring is likely. Phil largely favors predicting 6 more weeks of winter, so this is an unusual year. No, he just knew what to expect because I've done already said that next year, if he saw his shadow this year, next year, Drew's going to be on the grassy knoll. I'm taking Phil out. We're eating groundhog for dinner. Wow. A little piece of corn kernel stuck to my gum from last night still. The only bad thing about popcorn, them little kernel pieces. Yep, Puxatani did not see his shadow either. Which is good because I know a lot of us. Hey, David, good to see you, bud. It was good to see you over there supporting Sean, man. That was awesome. I've not heard from you in a while, but it's good to have you back, man. Um, I know a lot of us are tired of the winter. Like I said earlier, it's been so up and down. 2 weeks ago, it snowed for 5 days straight. We had over a foot of snow on the ground at that time. It was coming down. It was freaking terrible. And then all of a sudden, boosh, there we are, high 40s, low 50s, and once again, this is the time of the year when people forget their common sense and they start, oh, it's not cold anymore. I don't need this heavy coat, or I can wear this t-shirt with my windbreaker, or just put on this little sweater or something and go outside and do all my running and stuff. And then they wind up with a chest cold or the flu or even worse, pneumonia for a week, and they miss work, and it's then all of a sudden the next week, boom, snow again. So yeah, and you're right about that, Tony. It's needed for the crops. But, we got all that bloody snow over that 5 days that it snowed here. And then it rained for 4 days. All the snow was gone. And you were still having the cold temperatures, though. I mean, it was bordering right there, right above freezing, like 33, 34 degrees. And so it wasn't snowing. You might see an occasional flake come down in the snow, but for the most part, it's just annoying rain. And then everything got muddy, and The ground started to thaw out because of the rain and all the rain sitting on it and stuff. Then the temperature dropped for a couple of days, and you had sleet on top of frozen ground. And then it got treacherous for people driving. And then all of a sudden, we've had more rain than anything else here. We've had a lot of snow here in southwest Michigan. But like I said, when the snow ended, then it rained. And then things have just been overcast and mucky, and I'm ready for it to be over with. If it's going to rain and I have things to do, I at least want it to be, excuse me, I at least want it to be a warm rain so I can get out in it. I can still do things, you know. Colds and flus are viruses. Temp has nothing to do with them. Aside from people gathering around the fire when it's cold. We had frost on the roads here a couple days ago. Completely covered the roads. Never saw that before. I went out and started the wife's car the other morning, and we had, um, it was raining, but it had sleeted earlier in the morning before I went out to start the car. So she had ice like that far up on her windshield, but as soon as I turned on the windshield wipers, it was all gone. So, but it was a very slow drive to work for her because, uh, yeah, you had rain sitting on top of the previous sleet on the roads, and not the prettiest situation to be in. But if you guys will excuse me for a second, we're at that halfway point. I have to go and talk to a man about a horse that pees, I guess. I don't know. But y'all, talk real nice amongst yourselves, and I'll be back in just a second. I'm going to lose this bloody sweater, too, because it's freaking hot in here. Truck would try to go sideways on uphill with the cruise on. Good morning, Debbie. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well this morning. Yes, it was 9 o'clock. It was the halfway point. It was time for me to go and do the potty thing. Oh my goodness gracious. Puxatawny Phil, the nationally known weather guru, has said that winter is over. Now we'll see if the little turd's right. Okay, all right. He said it was going to be an early spring. Well, he forecasted an early spring by not seeing his shadow. So we'll see how that goes. Yeah, spring is around the corner, sometime in the next 6 weeks. Which is good because, you know, spring is around the corner, 6 weeks around the corner. Yeah, exactly. Which is good because, you know, next month, March, they are doing the Living History Trade Show up in Kalamazoo, Michigan, like they do every year. Um, and I remember here, 3 or 4 years ago, we went up to that thing and we slid everywhere. There was snow, there was ice, there was everything. We went last year and it was sunny. It was cold, but it was sunny. And, everybody had a great time. It was another record breaking year for attendance. Oh, let's see here. Plastic bumpers. Yeah, definitely. It's almost like spring here, going up to 46 today. What is ours supposed to be today? It says we're sitting at 32 right now. Oh, come on, eyes. We're going to be up to 40 degrees today, 43 tomorrow, 47 on Sunday, 46 Monday, 47 Tuesday, 51 Wednesday, 56 Thursday. So, booyah. I saw water glasses freeze in June in northern Wisconsin. Yeah. That's why the north should be fenced off. 59 yesterday. Wow. We didn't get near that. We got up to the low 40s yesterday again. So not great, not bad, but not great. But it looks like the next week or so is going to be real nice. Oh, just a heads up for you guys too. Um, yesterday morning when I woke up, um, I realized that this eye is starting to get very affected now. It's slowly starting to haze over. Like y'all saw me when I was holding the phone, I was sitting there and I was trying to get where I could at least see a number, a white number on a light blue screen. Um, what that means, whether or not it can be fixed, um, we'll have to wait and see. I hope it can, but I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. That's what my thermometer said, but the weather guy said near 60, so it was close. Yeah, 59 though. Wow, that's actually really nice for this time of the year. Yeah, I bet it was very, very pleasant being outside doing things, Tony. I bet it was. I bet it was very nice, especially after all the wind and the rain and everything else we've had over the last few weeks. Um, I bet 59 degrees felt real good. I should have put the antenna up, but I was waiting on tape. Woulda, shoulda, coulda. But by the looks of our weather, which I could only hope yours is going to improve as ours does, sometime in the next 3 or 4 days, it's going to be real nice out there, and hopefully no wind and stuff. So you're going to be able to get it put up with no problems, and hopefully be safe doing it. Is it chilly up there where you're at, Masha? Can't wait to see the sun again. Be very nice. Be very nice. Except, the brighter it gets, the hazier this is. So, you know, not exactly the best thing, but it feels good. Yes, for critical electronic stuff, there's only one tape I'll use, Scotch Super 88. Makes sense. I like uh, I like Scotch myself. I like Scotch tape myself. No snow, just chilly. Yeah, that's how we are here. We're sitting at like 31 degrees, but there's no snow, just chilly. That's why I'm glad the wife is off today, so I don't have to worry about walking to or from work. Yay me. -1 seems okay for Canada. I would expect colder. Yeah. Crossed the border yesterday for an evening trip, just a tad warmer. Super 88 will stretch out to around half again its length and return to normal completely. I've never used Super 88. I do like Scotch tape, but I've never used Super 88. But the way you're describing it, it seems like it's worth the investment. Yeah, I was getting ready to say, It probably costs a lot more than regular electrical tape, but yeah, which is why poor people like me have 20 rolls of regular dollar or $2 rolls of electrical tape laying around and don't have any of the good stuff. It's not cheap. Super 33 is good too. I use 33 most work. Every time I see Debbie, I think they're talking to me. No one calls me that. Nope, you're always just going to be Masha here. That was the very first name I ever learned for you, and that's what you're always going to be is Masha. I don't care if we ever meet face to face. You're still just going to be Masha. Yep, my name is Debbie, but yes, it's Masha. What connectors will fry a radio? Makes sense. Then again, any exposed copper wire when you're running electrical, if it gets caught at a rainstorm and gets saturated, I don't think that's good for any electrical line, whether it be a radio, whether it be a electrical main, whether it be, whatever, an extension cord running out through your yard to your shed or whatever. I don't think wet and electrical meet up and collaborate very well together. That would be a very shocking collaboration. I've made antennas out of bare copper that work out fine. Now, what about the electrical connections, though? You know, gurgle, 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 gurgle. Connectors are always protected. That's very very smart. Very smart. Hope you guys like the new background. Oh, and there's Debbie. I love the background. Brilliant minds. Yep, I just decided instead of always changing things, always having different backgrounds, because I'm never satisfied, I was going through all of my spare material and I found this beautiful Victorian era applique material. And I thought, that's big enough. I can do almost an entire wall right here around the cameras and stuff. And I moved. I kept my small table here, brought the lamp in, and hung up all of my Scottish stuff back here. I've got my bagpipes over here. I've got my sword and my Scottish dirk over here. And I figured, why not right here where I do most of my stream, where I do all of my streaming at, and a lot of my filming, just using all the stuff that I've managed to squirrel up over the years. Of course, you guys know the dirk and the basket hilt broadsword I wore at my wedding. The bagpipes were a gift from a friend of mine that was born in Scotland but now lives in England. Um, Sadly enough, I started learning how to play them, and then the bladder inside the bag here, the bladder actually ruptured, so it won't hold air anymore. The bladder tends to get a little expensive replacing it, and that's a very, very cheap plastic bladder anyway. So, just finding the right one. Maybe one of these days I'll start practicing on it again. It's a great little set. It holds great sound. I had it professionally tuned by the bagpiper that played at our wedding. The first year I had it, took it out. He used mine for the entire event. Once he tuned it, he carried mine around. He put his back in the bag and played mine the whole weekend. And so it's a great little set. Just got to get that bladder replaced. Me, not you. Good morning. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. Thanks for coming in and joining us. But, like I said a few minutes ago, coming up next month, we have the Living History Trade Show at Kalamazoo, Michigan, at the fairgrounds. And then I don't know of anything for April, but May, we have the Niles, Michigan Renaissance Fair again, which I will do security for again this year, as I always do for them. Working on building a Norseman persona for that one, since being out there last year in my cat gear, nobody really wanted to associate with me because they thought I was a cop. So this year I'll be going as a Norseman. So I'm building a Norse persona for that. Well, I mean, I'm letting the beard grow, man. But this is going to stay like this. So much easier to deal with. So much easier to deal with. I just got to, I've got a couple things I have to scroll up the money to buy for the Norse persona, and I'm good. And like I said, if plans go as they are up here, doing their little thing, dancing around, teasing me, sometime in the next 5 or 6 months, I would really like to get Papaw's Pizzeria opened up here in town. Every day that I'm out and around, I was actually talking to our local farmers market the other day, talking to the manager, and she asked me where I was going to order my food supplies from, and I told her that I would have to order, my meat products from a normal supplier, but I was wanting to find a local place to order all of my vegetables from, support the local economy. And of course, she jumped on that real quick, and she's like, well, they would be happy to work out a contract with me for all of my tomatoes, for all of my onions, all of my peppers, everything, my mushrooms, the whole shebang. So and that kind of arrangement would actually cut my product cost over half from ordering it from a food service. So I was really happy about that. Just a matter of finding the investor. And for 5 years now that I've been on this platform, I've been yelling out for that wealthy entrepreneur, that wealthy benefactor, to you know come and support us, help us get things going. So that's my thing. I buy local whenever I can. That's the best way to do it, dog. Good morning, by the way. That's the best way to do it. I mean, not only do you know the quality of stuff that you're getting, because you can see it before you buy it. It's not just delivered in a truck and dumped off, and then you got to put it away and use whatever they send you. But it makes you look very good as well. And believe you me, when you look like this, you need all the help looking good that you can. Um, it makes you look good supporting your local community, your local farmers, um, your town. Make the pizzeria a co-op between you and the farmers. And you're not the first person to suggest that. You're not the first person to suggest that. Somebody else had said that too. I don't understand how to set up a co-op. You know, the last co-op that I had to deal with was the utilities in the water company in Pikeville, Tennessee. Where we're paying over $100 a month for water, sewage. It's actually about $150 a month for water, sewage, trash pickup. My mom and dad pay $25 a month because their water company is a co-op. It's owned by everybody. So, but then again, the number one big thing is finding a property that I can get my hands on to run the place out of. Get a lawyer, have the lawyer part of co-op for his bill, then split profits after paying the bills and wages. Hmm. Oh, how you are so enlightening me, sir. I appreciate that. And what I'm about to say, just don't laugh at me for saying what I'm about to say. Now I just have to find an honest lawyer, and yeah, do it from there. Many pockets make light payments. Damn, got me there. Yeah, exactly. Years and years ago, when I was in the midst of a turn, um, and I know this is a totally different kind of lawyer, but many years ago, 35, 36 years ago, I was driving home from work, and I was waiting on cars to pass me so I could make a left-hand turn. And when the cars passed me, I started making my left hand turn. Well, a semi driver who didn't want to stop for the line of traffic cut off on the oncoming lane in a no passing zone and hit me in my car when I was making that turn. And, um, well, needless to say, the trucking company settled out of court, and we got $5,000. My lawyer, for never even appearing in court, for not doing anything, took almost 2/3 of it for her legal fees, and that kind of shied me off lawyers just a little bit. It's like you never had to leave your office for me. What the hell? Honest to God, honest to God, $3,000 what they took for 3 weeks work. What was that? Who was that? Who just dinged me? It's the wife. But that's the plan. That's the plan. Which, like I said, also if we get Papaw's Pipe Pizzeria opened up, um, then that will also open up a second channel um, here on the platform, which I will have cameras set up in the pizzeria. And, you know, I'll be doing, you guys will see me. You guys will be able to see me making pizzas and hand tossing the dough and our parties and stuff that we throw and stuff like that. So now it's really kind of funny that I mentioned that because I was a little bored yesterday and later in the day, and I was flipping around through the Roku channel on our TV, and I found a Roku channel called The Pizza Show. Let me get this thing off the screen real quick. It's called The Pizza Show, and it is a Sicilian guy who travels all around. He's been to Chicago and many other places. He travels around to all these historic pizza places and shows their specialty pizzas and how they're made. And it was an absolutely amazing show because it gave me ideas for Chicago style pizzas here that I never knew about. I mean, I already planned on doing the Chicago style stuffed pizza or the Chicago deep dish pizza, but man, I'll tell you what, some of those recipes are incredible. I gave a lawyer almost $4,000 for writing a letter and dropping it in the mailbox. Wow. Yeah, they definitely are not paid their worth, that's for sure. Oh, oh, guys, we have sunlight. We have sun coming in the window here. Oh, there you go. You can see it down there now. Be sure it ain't SWAT. No, no, no. It's coming right through the trees and all around the fan, and it's sun. It's sun, guys. How dare that sun rear its ugly head? Yeah. Who are you? It's been so long since I've seen you. I don't know who you are. It looks like it might be a pretty day. Thank thank you, Puxatawny Phil, for not seeing your shit. Doggone it, now I got hiccups. Son of a buck knife. Thank you, Puxatawny Phil, for not seeing your shadow. Well, I mean, Tony, it could be worse. The hiccups are, they're nothing. Pizza, oh, pizza channel. Very nice. Very nice. Got to figure out how I want to use the leftover turkey tonight. I don't know, but you give me a real good idea there, Mr. Tony. I think I might look and see if there's some turkey breast on sale somewhere and make some turkey. It'd be kind of nice to sit down to a meal that I can actually enjoy the flavor of. I think I'm going to do a stuffing casserole. That sounds good. That sounds good. And we've actually got stuffing in the pantry out here. We found it on sale before Thanksgiving and bought several boxes of it and only used about half of them. So that sounds like a good idea. Stuffing casserole. That sounds good. Nummy, nummy, nummy. I'll have to check that channel out, dog. That I'm always looking. I'm always looking for cooking channels and stuff like that where I can get other people's views on recipes, which is what made me think about setting up the second channel here if I get the pizzeria opened. Um, Not only do people get to see step by step how the pizzas are done, but it's good advertising for us. I'll get my daughter working on the whole TikTok thing for us. And by owning the place, and we've suggested this to the owners of the bar, You know, try doing the food challenges and things like that. I just seen another video Saturday of a 10 pound burger challenge, and you know they bake their own custom buns. These buns are like 18 inches across. Got the little sesame seeds in the top of it. This whole burger, um, the whole burger. Once you put everything on it, it's almost 11 pounds. It comes with American fries, not French fries. You know, potatoes that are cut into quarters or sixths, and I mean the whole platter is 2.5 feet across, and it is just a huge hamburger in the center, surrounded by probably 4 pounds of these frickin' potatoes. I mean, French fries that are as bigger around than a 50-cent piece. And you know, the whole thing, you know, costs 50 or $55 for just that one platter. But if you can eat the whole thing in a certain amount of time, it's free. So the same with the pizzas. You know, I can do, you know, a huge deep dish or something. You know, an 11-pound pizza, which is not hard to do, guys. I've actually made a 9-pound pizza before. I had to make it in 3 cake pans, but you know, once it was done, once it was baked, I could pull it all out, put it on a big sheet pan, and it was uh, it was 11 inches by 27 inches and weighed 9 pounds. It had a whole pound of hamburger, a whole pound of sausage, a half a pound of pepperoni. It had a whole onion. It had a whole bell pepper. It had what a whole package of fresh mushrooms, and it had like 3 pounds of cheese. So I mean, huge, huge. And then of course, you know, it had fresh garlic and stuff like that on it too. So the perfect thing for a Super Bowl party, the perfect thing for a birthday party. Oh, I know, Tony. I know. And, you know, some people aren't. But I have discovered recently that, you know, pizza seems to be the most popular um, food all over America. Everybody loves pizza. And when they hear that a new pizza place is opening, they have to go check it out. I don't dislike it, but I've had more than my share over the years. Exactly. And like I said, you know, it makes sense. You know, I've eaten a lot of pizza. My pizza was a main staple growing up. You know, my mom would go out and she would buy those cheapy Chef Boyardee pizza kits. And, you know, she would use the Chef Boyardee pizza sauce that came with it and everything. She'd hand mix the dough. She'd make the pizza, but then it was what she put on it that made it really stick out. She didn't put pepperoni on it because we couldn't afford to go out and get pepperoni. She would get smoked sausage out of the fridge, and she would thin slice smoked sausage, and she'd put that all over it. And she would put, canned mushrooms on it, and she would cut up onion and put it on it. Or if she made sausage patties at one point in time that day, that morning, or the morning before that, she would chop up the sausage and sprinkle it all over it. So, with 4 kids and numerous after school events, we've had a lot of pizza. My wife and daughter are pizzaholics, man. Hell, the wife's even told me, which I love. It's one of the reasons I love her so much. She even told me if I got the pizza place started and it was successful, she would actually consider quitting the casino to come and work with me. It's just what I need. I have her telling me how to cook at home. I need her telling me how to cook at work too. Yay me. Pizza is one of the few things that all 4 agreed on. Yep. And the really cool thing about it is, even if they didn't agree on a certain type, it's not hard to half a pizza or third a pizza or quarter a pizza and basically make them exactly what they want. I've done it several times here. Made a large pizza at work, and part of it be supreme, part of it be um, barbecue chicken, part of it be just a meat lovers, and yeah, exactly. Until they got older. They all chose cheese pizzas until they got older. Makes sense. Ha 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 ha. So I guess we're throwing this huge Super Bowl party up at the bar on Super Bowl Sunday. I'm hoping I don't work because I have seen how people eat at her aunt and uncle's Super Bowl parties. Her uncle works for 2 days making food for the Pizza Bowl party. Everybody comes out and eats their full. But, instead of doing the Pizza Bowl party at their house this year, they're going to do it at the bar because they've had to turn people away in the past because there's not enough room in their house. I have seen 30 people in that house for Super Bowl Sunday. So, can't imagine what a bar is going to be like. I almost always make my own pizza. Now it's funny, my number 3 kid was the least like me. Now she's all about my twin as far as the way we talk and meals we like. By God, it works. At least one of them turned out like you. Can't imagine sitting down and engaging her in a conversation. If she's that much like you, it's going to be a fun conversation. They're all my kids, can't deny any. It's what makes them so bloody special, man. You know, I had nothing in the creation of this little one that I'm helping to raise here, but every single day I see her being more and more like me. I don't know if that's good or bad. I really honestly don't. I have no clue if that's a good thing or a bad thing. But I figure every single time that she does something off the wall and her mom looks at me and she said, "It's your daughter," I just smile. We were at a breakfast a while back. My wife told my number three, "Jesus, you sound just like your dad." And see, Stephanie says the same thing. Steph says the same thing all the time. You sound just like your dad. Once again, I just smile. She may not always like me, but she's turning out just like me. What can I say? My eldest has been like my eldest has been like me from the time she could talk. Number three was a surprise. God, I bet your wife couldn't wait to go to work. A whole house full of little Tonys, all being edged on by a big Tony. I bet she loved overtime. Oh, goodness gracious. God, 10 minutes to go. Jesus, criminy. Oh, I bet you do. I bet you I bet you did. I bet you still do love your kids, you know. And I'm pretty sure that after bringing up four after bringing up four of them, the house seems kind of empty at times. You know, that's why I was so thankful, you know, um, having a little one here that, you know, I could help raise and I could help mold and, you know, because for many, many years, um, every day seemed a little empty. Um, but then again, you have to realize too that my youngest child, my blood youngest child, is 31 years old. And here I've got a 15-year-old in the house now. So, yeah, took the raising of them seriously. Of course, we still love them. They've been gone 15, 20 years. Yep. It's one really cool thing about a parent. You do all the rearing, you do all the molding, you get them ready for life. They move out, they start their own lives, but dad and mom are always there. It's one of the things I've enjoyed most about, parenthood and now grandparenthood. I've got, God, I've got grandkids falling out my yin yang. And now we've got her son and his fiance and little hero that's just over a year old. And I'm getting to experience it all over again. Where with my youngest son, or the youngest of the twins, um, he's got a 17-year-old and a 14-year-old. So I'm going to be lucky enough to still be a semi young man when I become a great grandfather. So, I'm really looking forward to that. Now that we had the youngest and her kids staying here, that was not so fun. She argues with the kids all the time. Well, it's no big secret that I worship my dad. And I think about him every day being, 80, God, 41, being 83 years old. Almost 83 years old. I'd take a bullet for the man without thinking twice. Can I live with him? No way in hell. No way in hell. We are. Good morning, Bud Files. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well this morning. Me and him butt heads like two rams. When I had her kids for a year while she was doing army stuff, I was no problem at all. Yeah, and it doesn't seem like it. Granted, I don't have long periods of time with my grandsons, at 15 and 17, but their mom and dad always have problems out of them. But when I'm with them, not a problem one. Not an issue, not a raised voice, not a broken rule, nothing. So I think that's kind of universal, that parents and kids just aren't capable to always get along, but grandparents and grandkids, oh yeah. Well, you have to set aside the grand thing and assume the dad rule. Well, of course, you still make them follow the rules and everything, but, you know, I don't know. It's just weird. It's just weird how they seem to get along with the grandparents, but can't always get along with the parents. Or teach them how to circumvent rules. And and I've come to realize that teaching them how to not get in trouble is sometimes easier than teaching them how to just do the things they're supposed to, or teaching them how to avoid such a situation. I have noticed here of late with my daughter. I've told her so many times, if you get this done before you're told to do it, then you make mom feel weird when she gets home and says, "Did you, did you, did you, did you?" And you can just say, "Yeah," as soon as I got home from school. And then she walks around and looks, she goes, "Oh, oh, okay, thank you." I didn't notice. I hadn't looked yet. I just walked in the door. Does that happen every day? Psst, no. Good morning, Richie. Good to see you, bud. Hope you're doing well over on the west side of the big water. Happy happy Gopher Day. Looks like uh, looks like spring is coming early this year, sometime in the next 6 weeks, or so the legend goes. I try to teach them to know that I need not check if they did something. If they say they did, I know they did. Makes sense. Makes a lot of sense. Only got a couple minutes left. I'm going to warm this up just a bit. Shut off the old percolator. Is the snow melting and starting to warm up by you? The snow pretty much all melted last week when we got into the high 30s, low 40s, and it rained for like almost 3 days. Um, Pretty much all of our snow was gone then. I just looked at the forecast on the old telephono just a little bit ago, and it looks like we're going to be in anywhere between the high 40s or the mid 40s and the high 50s this whole coming week. So it's already starting to feel like spring over here. My big rules for kids: be honest. Good manners and being polite costs you nothing, yet pays you back in ways you may never know. Very good point. Yeah, I'm sure you've got a little bit more snow than we have, Richie, being, you know, over on the other side of the lake and being further north. Um, I'm sure you managed to get a little bit, but yeah, after we got almost a whole week of snow, then the temperature got up just above freezing for the main part of the days, and it rained for, like I said, the biggest part of 3 days, and all except where the roads were plowed up on the edge of the road was all the snow we had left. Um, we've had a couple of days of freezing rain and stuff like that, but other than that, it has been, semi comfortable. No snow here, but the mud is firming up nicely. Yeah. But all right, guys, it is that time. I have got to start getting myself ready for the old worko today. Hopefully, I'll actually get to stay for an entire shift. We'll just have to wait and see. Um, but that's it for this morning. Um, you guys all have a. It's been muddy for almost all January. Go figure. But you guys all have a good day. You take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. God bless you. God love you. I do. Of course, I will see you all Monday morning, bright and early. Same as usual. But y'all take care. And we'll see you later, Tony. Richie, you take care. Dave, you too, bud. Everybody else in here that's just lurking. Have a good weekend. Enjoy yourselves a little bit. Tony, do not work too hard. Do not hurt yourself. But we will definitely catch y'all later. Y'all have a good weekend.